Hello and welcome to another episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. This is Beriathan of the Citadel Guard of Gondor. Garalith is saying hello as well. And we have plenty of stuff to do today, but first we're gonna hit Kindred with Théodred's riders by completing some tasks. We have all this.
Friend of the Rohirrim. Your aid is welcome, friend. Welcome, my friend.
Alright. Doing pretty good today.
Friend of the Rohirrim.
Now, what else do I have here? Bunch of skins, decorative soreshits, marked furs, and puncture shields. Yeah. Don't worry, Garliff, we're almost there.
Welcome, my friend. Greetings, friend of the Rohirrim.
There you have it. So completed Kindred to Théodred's Riders. We have a new title for it. Here we have a reputation bar, looking pretty good. 20 LOTRO points. And this title, you have reached Kindred status with Théodred's Riders. And 20 LOTRO points. Amazing.
Welcome,
Yeah, I'm very happy too, Garliff.
Greetings, friend of the Rohirrim.
Okay. And that's it for today's tasks. So now we can grab the Stable Master to Grimble's camp and pick where we left off. So on the last episode we finished our quests in Nankurunir inside the Ring of Isengard, and we also unlocked the entrance to the Isengard instances, even though it's gonna be a while before we do those. So now what we can do is continue the epic, basically. We need to talk to Cynstan on the west bank of the Fords of Isen, one of Théodred's scouts. Now let me double check there's nothing else in here that I might be missing. But it doesn't seem to be. So, yep. That's pretty much it. And he was not far away. We could have done this so much earlier.
Oh, hello there. I'm Prince Théodred's esquire.
Hell, you must be Beriathan. I am Cynstan and I am the prince's esquire. I help him with his armor and his steed and with anything else that needs doing. Right now he has me bringing messages back and forth across the fort, getting the men on the other side organized for the defense of the bank. Someone has taken one of my bracers, and I think they have hidden it somewhere. It is their idea of a jest, I suppose. Nah, do not bother looking for it. It will turn up eventually. Sure it will. So... Up task limit, legendary item level up. So we talk to the scouts, we check the map. So what comes next? Talking to the prince.
I am devising a plan, and once all is ready, I want you to be a part of it.
I am glad you have come. I would have welcomed any of your ranger friends as well, but I understand that they have their own mission. I wish them well in it. Enough talk. It is time to strengthen my forces. They will have need of strength in the days to come.
We know that Saruman has a much larger force of Uruks than we do of men.
From what you have said, we know that Saruman has a much larger force of Uruks than we do of men. Grimbold estimates that each one of us is worth at least 20 Uruks, but he is from Grimslade, and the men of that place are not known for their mastery of numbers. I fear he underestimates the savagery of Saruman's forces, and then there are the hostile Dunlending clans to consider. Athelard has gone to the Ayat in the middle of the river to train some of the men. They have seen less combat than others, and they have much to learn if they are to be of help during a real battle. Go to him and help train these youths. Of course, let me just, you guessed it, get a full picture of Théodred and his men. And we'll go now to train with the Rohirrim. Oh well, I think the Gap of Rohan also warrants some cool picks. If we can get to a higher ground maybe and grab a few of them.
These men need to be stronger. I need to make them stronger.
We are the only defense between Saruman's evil and the people of Rohan. I need to make them stronger. Find a warrior and an archer and fight with them, Beriathan. Perhaps your example will teach them something.
I am ready to show you the strength of my arm.
I have sharpened my skills against many of my kinsmen. Let me now sharpen them further. I am ready for you too. You have bested me, friend. Thank you for the training.
If you
Not a
believe
problem.
you can best me in training, prove it is so.
I have been the victor in many competitions, Beriathan. Few can boast as swift an arrow or as true. If you believe you can best me in training, prove it as so. What do you mean to far away?
Believe you can best me in training, prove it is so.
You have bested me, friend. Yeah, now we only need to talk to Athelard, but... Come here, Garlic. You gonna keep on shooting? Yeah. That's it. That's great, thank you. And this guy who is practicing with a training dummy too. Rohirrim in action. Very well.
Well, what do you think of their abilities?
Are they made of stern enough stuff to stand against the forces of Saruman you beheld within Isengard? Athelard sighs heavily. They will have to do. You should find Rungar and help him with the training of his riders. He is just to the north of Grimbold's camp. Alrighty. How far north then, I wonder. Here.
My men are practicing a technique to help them fight from horseback.
A technique that will snare their opponents. With careful aim, my men can ensnare their enemy's legs with a thrown net. It will then keep the foeman from attacking until our footmen can close the distance. Gather up the nets they have already thrown and bring them to me, Beriathan, and I will give them to new riders. This is something they must master if we are to be as effective as we must be. Well, there is a great strategy if you ask me. That sounds really useful. And of course, at this moment in the game, mounted combat was not being introduced yet. So, otherwise we would be practicing mounted combat with this Rohirrim, I believe.
Very good. Their skill throwing the nets is improving with each pass.
Once they have mastered it, we will be better prepared to face any unmounted foe that comes. Théodred will wish to see you. He is somewhere in the camp to the south, I expect. Tell my prince that the riders are becoming more skilled at the technique he suggested, and that I have some craftsmen working on more nets. Alrighty. Let us go. Once again, it's a shame this door is not open. Really a shame. But okay. So we're back to Théodred.
We need every man to be ready, for what I have in mind is dangerous.
Your news is welcome, my friend. We need every man to be ready, for what I have in mind is dangerous, but the reward, should we prevail, could be significant. If we wait until Saruman's army is ready, we cannot hope to hold a fort against him. We do not have the men. Your report of the size of Saruman's force has it much larger than I feared. If we can catch him before he is ready, we might strike such a blow that his force will be sent into disarray. He is wise, yes, and is the wise man not cautious? He will see that we have taken him by surprise, and he will retreat behind his walls, and he will continue to grow his army until he is certain we cannot oppose him. Every day that goes by is a day in our favor. The size of his army is of no account as long as it sets within Isengard. Let it stay there forever. We must make him uncertain enough of his success that he never moves it. That is my proposal. If you are still willing to help us, Grimbold has asked that you ride with him. Okay, yeah, that's a bold move. And very risky too.
Prince Théodred's plan is a daring one, but there is wisdom in it.
He is like his father in this. He does not shy away from using his strength where it is necessary. I would like you by my side during this daring strike, Beriathan. We will plant the seed of doubt in Saruman's mind, and he may think twice before sending his army forth.
Prince Théodred's plans are set forth on the map table. We begin at dawn.
Prince Théodred's plans are set forth on the map table, Beriathan. Study them to acquaint yourself with them. We will begin at dawn on the 25th. We will strike Saruman hard and fast and use his own caution against him. So long as he thinks his army is not ready to march and must remain behind the walls of Isengard, it will be of no threat to Rohan. Alright. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, we'll go to the map table. We already been there. That's what we need to check. You study the maps placed upon the table and consider Théodred's plan. First, he must determine what defenses to leave at the Fort of Isen, then he will ride north to Isengard with a host of riders. The attack will begin at dawn.
Dawn came swiftly on the 25th of February, as my prince prepared to conduct his daring strike.
I hope you have awakened refreshed, Beriathan. I doubt not this will be a long day. I have a few matters left in dawn, which must be resolved, then we will ride. I will need many men at my side at Isengard, but we must not leave the fort undefended. What did you have in mind to command the riders we leave behind? Kada was my first choice. His brother Edwick already spoke to me, desiring a place in our host. Their mother is old, and if our attack on Isengard goes ill, I will not deprive her of both her sons. Come, Beriathan, we will tell Cynstan to deliver this message. Prince Théodred, may fortune smile on us this day. If it does not, we will make our own fortune, my friend. Cynstan, is everything alright? What are you looking for? My prince, it is nothing. I misplaced one of my bracers, that is all. It will turn up, I am sure. I need you to cross to the east bank with a message for Kada. Tell him he is to remain here with his men and to hold the fort against whatever may come. You want him to stay here? I will tell him, but he will not like it. Kara is a man of Rohan and will understand what is needed of him. I will not advance through the front gate to victory while leaving the postern gate open to the enemy. Someone must stay to hold the fort in the event I have misjudged Saruman's mind. Théodred lowers his voice and addresses you quietly. You should go with Cynstan to deliver my words, Beriathan. He is untested by battle, and the men see him still as a green boy. Kara may be less briskly towards my esquire if you are there as well. I need a word with Athelard before we go. He is not pleased at the quality of the spears we have, but it is too late to make more. They will have to suffice. Athelard, where are you? Tell me why these spears are unsatisfactory. I hope you don't mind getting your feet wet again, Beriathan. Kara is on the east bank of the river and the stones can be treacherous. You have been in some battles, Beriathan? Of course you have. May I ask you a question? You have come a long way from your homeland, Beriathan, and you have seen a great deal of danger. These battles in which you have fought, when you were embroiled in the thick of them, were you frightened? I cannot ask this of the men, they would think me a coward. But I am already frightened, and we have not yet begun the march. Well, I will be with Théodred, and he has never known fear. I could not bear to bring shame upon my family or my prince. Thank you for listening, friend. I will follow your example and not give in to these doubts. You will do fine. Don't you worry about it. Kara! Are you here? You are to remain here with your men to hold the fort. It is the will of the prince. I should not be left behind. My place is at the front of the column with my prince. Kara's eyes flash angrily at you from beneath the rim of his helmet. I will do as I am commanded, but I wish it were not necessary. My men will hold the fort against whatever comes as my prince desires, but I think we wait here uselessly, while our brothers and our friends ride into battle against the armies of Saruman. I understand the need for it, but I chafe at the need and do not want to sit here in idleness while Prince Théodred rides into danger. Gather to me, men of Rohan. We have our orders, my friends, my brothers. Our prince rides forth to see the enemy with his own eyes. He leaves the defense of his home and his people in the hands of those he trusts. Our hands. Nay, we will not fail him. Let none pass into Rohan. We are the last defense of its people. I did tell the prince that Kara would not be happy about staying here. You heard me tell him that. I am going to stay here for a few minutes and see if I can find my missing bracer. You should cross the fort again and tell the prince that the fort will be defended while we are away. Alright, so where's Théodred? Okay. All is ready then? Kara will hold the east bank of the fort with the men at his command, and the rest of us will ride north to Isengard. Théodred will follow my lead, and Grimbold will dismount and command the foot as a separate unit if the terrain of the road warrants it. Athelard will call the mark for his archers. It will be some hours before we are in sight of Isengard. It is best we get started. Mount your steed, Beriathan, and talk to Grimbold. Let us ride together, Beriathan. Let us bring news of our defiance to Saruman himself.
Prince Théodred left riders at the Ford of Isen to guard the passage into Rohan, and he went north with a second group to Isengard.
It is a pleasant morning for riding, Beriathan. If it stays thus, we will be at Isengard by midday and have brought Saruman to heel not long after. Let us catch up to the prince and get a good view of the road ahead. Come on, Grimbold. Don't stay behind. My prince, what is the word from ahead? We will know soon. I sent Théodred on ahead to scout the road. We are nearly there, Beriathan. I can smell the stench of Isengard, even from here. Look, he returns to us. Prince Théodred. There are orcs and half-orcs outside the walls, but their number is not great. We have taken the wizard unawares. Perhaps. Do not celebrate yet, Théodred. The battle is still unfought. This news lightens my heart, but we must not forget that Saruman is devious. This strike will remind him we are not to be lightly set aside, and that he is not immune to attack. Any more than that is more than I expect. The dawn has passed. It will be midday when we move to the next stage of my plan. Ready yourself for what comes next, Beriathan. We have several hours' ride ahead of us, Beriathan. Then we will see if Saruman is prepared to face me in battle, or if he will cower behind his walls in perpetual caution. Study the maps placed on the table and consider Théodred's plan. Once he has come within sight of Isengard, he will order his men to attack the orcs arrayed outside the walls. He thinks to arrive outside Isengard by midday.
Théodred came to the gates of Isengard by midday, and the Uruks arrayed before him readied for his assault. We lined up, ready to charge.
Yeah, there you have it. The Rohirrim ready to charge, to storm Isengard. I think we can do without the quest rank for the moment. Because this is a really nice view. Théodred spoke true. There are orcs outside the walls, but their number should not be a problem for us, Beriathan. Let us see what they think of my riders. Rohirrim! Our foes lie before us. See them assembled outside their walls. Grimbold, have your archers send our greetings to Saruman. With pleasure, my prince. Archers, come forward. Volley. Grimbold, take Beriathan and attack from their flank while our riders carry them. Let us go then. We will cut through the brush on this side of the road, Beriathan, and attack our enemy's flank. This way, Beriathan, on foot. Look, the riders have begun their attack. Do you hear that, Beriathan? Someone comes. Get ready. Yeah, I was warned, ready. So, there you have it. That was not all of them, Beriathan. Stay alert. More half-orcs approach. Well, let them come. Not afraid of them. we ready to continue? Here comes another, and it sounds like a big one. Grimbold, Beriathan, Rungar, we thought you were an enemy. Prince Théodred has routed the enemy. Victory is ours. Beriathan, Grimbold, come with me and we will send them howling back into the rank of Isengard. We will send them back to Saruman. Here, Garlic. Yeah. Nice picture.
Our victory was short-lived. All was still as the gates of Isengard swung open. Out boiled a mighty force of Saruman's Uruks. They sought to surround us, and Théodred ordered a retreat.
We are outnumbered, Beriathan. The prince has ordered a retreat, but first we must survive this attack. Our riders have managed to net some of our foes. Attack the netted Uruks and keep them from breaking through. I will try to drive some of the others away. Netted Uruks. These guys. There's our chance. We have to retreat now. Are you Beriathan? You are! We have to get out of here! Shouts of despair and cries of terror rise from the pockets of Rohirrim still fighting for their lives. The archer looks at you with fear in his eyes, and throws his bow down in the dust. The day is lost. There are too many Uruks. The men begin to break for the route back to the fort, and all sense of order is lost as the Uruks gather on all sides. Let me get a clearer picture of the battle. Oh yeah, let us retreat. You study the maps placed on the table and consider Théodred's plan. If all goes well, the prince should have victory by afternoon. If all goes well.
We formed up between Théodred and our foes, fighting for our lives and his. There seemed to be no end to the orcs.
Okay, so here we are in the next stage of today's battle. The retreat. This is far enough, Beriathan. Let us turn and face our pursuers. We must give Prince Théodred some time to move further south. We have to give Prince Théodred time. Here they come. Here they come again. We must fall back. Hurry! More foes from the flank. Stand your ground, Beriathan. We must fight the prince what time we can. Be done with you. We go now. I need to talk to Grimbold? Yeah. We are doing well, Beriathan. Every second we give to Prince Théodred is a second time wasted. So long as we stand, Rohan stands with us. Oh no, Edwig has taken a grievous blow. The time for fighting is over. Run! There is no victory here. We have to run. They will be on us in moments, Beriathan. Let me gather the men about us and ready them for his last assault. Gather to me! Saruman's hammer's stroke will soon be upon us. Our prince has gotten to safety, but we cannot allow this ford to reach him. What? A rider approaches. Captain! A second force of Uruks has come to the fort in secret. Kada has been driven back into Rohan. Prince Théodred is in danger. A thousand curses upon Saruman. He sent a second force of Uruks to the fort on the other side of the river. We have to get back to the prince at once. Without Kada at the fort, Prince Théodred cannot drive them off with the few men he has in this party. We cannot die here. We have to get back to the fort at once to save Prince Théodred. He will be caught between the hammer and the anvil of Saruman.
The Uruks pursued us as we fled, and the riders Théodred left at the ford were driven away by their onslaught. The prince was forced onto the island in the middle of the river, attacked from both sides, and we could not reach him. All seemed lost.
You study the maps placed on the table and consider Théodred's plan. When the sun sets on the 25th of February, Théodred expects to return to the fort with newfound confidence in his defenses. Perhaps it will be so.
The prince was trapped in the middle of the River Isen. We had to fight through the line of Uruks to reach him.
Death to the forces of Saruman! Death to them all! Quickly, Beriathan, we must get to the water's edge and see what has happened to the prince. Beriathan, fight only those who get in our way. We must get to the water. I assume that includes these guys as well. Completed Urukai Slayer. Cool! We must save the prince. You think you can keep me from my prince? You are a fool to try. There is no time, Beriathan. Prince Théodred is beset on all sides. We have to cross the river and break through the ring that surrounds him. Look, Théodred is hard pressed on all sides, but still he fights. Oh no, the prince has fallen. Someone fights on, keeping the Uruks at bay. It's Cynstan, the prince esquire. But no. Well. There is a face I have seen before. More flag, okay. So, time to settle this once and for all, you and I, it seems. So yeah, get ready for it. Beriathan, I thought we would not meet again. The old man was not pleased to lose you as his guest, and he was very cross with Morflack. Lighting his wisdom, he sent me forth to gain his forgiveness, and with a simple mission. All I needed to do was kill the Horse Prince. I have done this, and more beside. And now I will settle my score with you. In the eastern distance, you hear a horn blowing from far away. Prince Théodred, be strong. Morphilax's attention is drawn to the eastern bank of the fort, but before you can take advantage of his inattention, you are yourself rooted to the spot with wonder. A line of riders has come from Rohan, and the courage of the Rooks melts away as the Rohirrim prepare to charge. Yeah, look at them there. Rohan has come at last.
And yet, as the sun set and our hopes with it, the sound of a horn signaled the arrival of a new force on the far side of the river. Elfhelm riding hard from Helm's Deep, with many riders at his call. The Uruks retreated before him, and the day was saved, but much was lost that could not be regained.
You study the maps placed on the table and consider Théodred's plan. This is indeed a daring move, and the prince expects it to renew Saruman's caution. By nightfall, who knows what the situation may be? It could be that night will bring with it renewed hope for Rohan. There are other possibilities as well, but they are darker and more grim.
Night fell on the 25th of February, as my prince prepared for one last journey. A journey to lands we know not.
Okay, so here we have Elfhelm. One of Rohan marshals, but I'm not sure if it was the second? The third? God, I don't remember, but this is the first time we ever encounter Elfhelm in the game. You are Beriathan. Rainbolt spoke to me of you. He says you fought bravely today. Elfhelm looks across the waters of the Isen into the distance. Many men fought bravely today. For many a man this was his last battle. I rode hard from Helm's Deep when Saruman's forces were spotted. Would that we got here sooner. Rainbolt is with the prince. You should go to him. Beriathan. Prince Théodred's wounds are grievous, Beriathan. He does not have much time left. I have given him a bedroll and tried to make him as comfortable as I can, but... He shakes his head, a haunted look in his eyes. I am a veteran of many wars, Beriathan. I have seen death in all its forms, but to see Théoden's king's heir like this... More than my prince will die tonight. I fear Rohan dies with him. Grimbold, my old friend. My prince, I am here. Is the fort? Is it? We still hold the fort, my prince. The Uruks have retreated to Isengard. Good. We need to keep... We will hold the fort. Saruman cannot break us, Prince Théodred. Elfhelm, I thought I saw your shield. You did, my prince. I wrote down the great orc that gave you that wound. His courage deserted him, and I planted my spear in his back. Courage. Cynstan, where is... You need your rest, my prince. We will speak of Cynstan another time. Grimbold, I am not a child. Cynstan fell defending you from the orcs, my prince. He was very brave. Beriathan. Oh, so here we have Prince Théodred, Grimbold, Elfhelm, and Morflax's corpse in here, defeated by Elfhelm. It's a shame we didn't get to fight with him again, but at least he will not trouble anyone anymore. Beriathan, I want you to know. Théodred coughs weakly. He is clearly near the end of his strength. My father cannot stand alone. He closes his eyes for a moment, but keeps speaking. My father, the king, he needs allies if Rohan is to survive. He will have them. All of us will aid Théoden King. You will be with him, my prince. We will bring you to Edoras. No. Leave me here. I will keep the fort. Ilmer. Prince Théodred is dead. We will bury him here, as was his wish, alongside his men. They will not return to Rohan, but will keep the fort alongside their prince until the end of all days. I am ready for this day to be done, Beriathan. I know it is the same with you. I'm with you too, Geralif. I know.
We've lost much this day, but we cannot despair. We must not.
This was no accident, Beriathan. Saruman sought to slay our prince, and he succeeded. With that accomplished, he is content to have his forces retreat. This is a hollow victory. We hold the fort, but the loss of Théodred is too much for Rohan to bear. We have lost much this day, but we cannot despair. We must not. We must hold this crossing or die. Saruman accomplished what he wished this day, but there will come another day, and when it does, he will seek to cross the Isen and move into Rohan. My men and I will stand against him, and if you will stand with us, we may stand the longer. These dark days grow darker still. Rest now while you can, Beriathan. Alright, so there we have it. This is the end of Book 5 of Volume 3, The Prince of Rohan. As you have seen, this book is really short. It may not look like it, because we did a lot of stuff in between, but it only has 4 chapters. So yeah, it's a really short book, but I gotta say, the Battle of the Fort, I really love the way in which the dev team handled it, and how they give the spotlight of the entire book to it. So instead of giving us filler, they just focused on the Battle of the Fort, Prince Théodred, his death, and I thought they did a great job at it. This was, as far as I remember, the first time the LOTRO team showed the progress of the battle with that kind of maps and sigils of the different armies and moving them around as the battle progressed. Something that will be more prominent in further battles, but it has its origins in here, and I also really enjoyed those cinematics and how they told you the battle and they filled in the parts that we didn't get to see. So yeah, this book, even though it's really short, it's also really cool as well, and I enjoyed it a lot. Now, here we have the Uruk-hai Slayer deed that we completed while doing this quest. We got the Uruk-hai Slayer Advanced, of course. And we are halfway through the Dunland Slayer deeds, but we will be leaving Dunland on the next episode. Join me next time as we will start Book 6 and move towards another region of Middle-earth, and something I'm really excited to see. For the time being, this has been today's episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you on the next one. Until then, my friends, stay safe, take care, good luck to you all, and I will see you later.